France 24 Cyril Payen spent about a week in Irpin and joins us now with more. Cyril, what is the damage like and the human toll we're talking about in Irpin?
Irpin is extremely strategic and symbolic of the war in Ukraine. It was one of the first key cities around, as we were saying, around 50 kilometers away from central Kyiv to be hit by commandos, paratroopers, and the convoy, which we have been talking about for weeks, about this huge convoy heading to Kyiv. It was on this place. So we spent about 1 week there with heavy fighting, heavy artillery shelling, bombings quite every day, every hour. And now it's also symbolic, as you said, because it looks like because we are really much in the informational war too. It's extremely difficult to check. But from our sources on the ground, the Russian tanks just move back, which is actually happening. And Irpin, which is a 70,000 inhabitants or so a city, is free again. So the mayor of Irpin, which is quite renowned in Ukraine as a local hero, said that we have to pause now and to know the casualties. So we have 300 civilians killed so far, which is huge regarding of the population. When we were there, we could count 1,500 soldiers, resistance, fallen volunteers, trying to prevent the Russian to move on. But the thing is, it's a very residential area, and half of the city already we know is totally destroyed. I remind that there is an highway going from the northwest to central Kyiv, which is a huge highway, and the bridge of Irpin, which is very famous for the people going to town before the war, was destroyed on 25th February by the own forces of Ukraine in order to prevent the Russian tanks to move in. So it's again very symbolic of the strength of the fighting, the violence, the sense of resistance from the locals to try to prevent the Russians to move in, but also when they back off. And we don't know if they will come back because nobody really knows what is in mind of Moscow military. But the city is quite destroyed. Again, it was 70,000 people living here. When we saw the civilians moving out as refugees, they have pets, they have cats and dogs. So really normal people, as if we were just in Paris with the suburb being attacked massively. So it's free, yes, but there is a huge toll, in human speaking, the human toll, and also half of the city which is destroyed.
You just said that, it's impossible to know if the Russian troops will come back. But are there indications that could happen? What is the feeling of people on the ground? Are they prepared for that possibility?
Very much so. Nobody actually believed that there is this back off, and the military will do what they say. Whether in Turkey or when there is a ceasefire and we talk, nobody really believed that the Russians did all that not to encircle at some point Kyiv. People are extremely pessimistic and non-believer of what happened because they have been saying what the Russian troops were doing on the ground. So the mood is we won for a while, but let's be very cautious about the future.
Okay, France 24 Cyril Payen, who spent about a week, 8 days in Irpin and recently came back. Cyril, thanks so much for joining us.